Hello again from my front porch. Yesterday I spent 11 hours at the state fair. I'm mentioning it because today my body is reminding me that I spent 11 hours at the state fair. For those who go to the gym and complain about it being leg day or the day after leg day, yeah, that's very much the way my legs are feeling today. My body in general, can sense the muscle soreness from yesterday, but the legs especially so. A lot of walking yesterday. So I've been joking with people today that it was like I had leg day at the fair. But it's good. It's good because I ate, as you saw in the previous episode, I ate a lot of stuff that wasn't really on my diabetic friendly menu, but still ate it anyway and was able to enjoy that stuff. And yet still, when I came home last night and checked my blood sugar, believe it or not, it was 117, which is obviously below the 124 where they say that's the cutoff. You go over that and you're in the diabetic zone. Anyway, my legs aching every time I stand up today reminds me that I was at the fair. And there are other memories I have, though, from the fair. Things that we didn't talk about in the last episode because that was focused on the food day at the fair. And so I thought, you know what, as long as my legs are reminding me and I'm remembering, yes, indeed, I did spend all day at the fair, I thought, you know what, this would be a good time for me to mention some of the other memories that I have from the fair. Now, one of the things that does tie in with the food thing, there was the one food item called the brisket mango tango, the one thing that comes in a bowl of stuff, and when we went to get it, the big sign on the wall showed a picture of it. It had the bowl that was made out of waffle cone. That's it. I don't know why I was blanking on that. Made of waffle cone and had all the good stuff in it. But then sticking out the top of it was a big chunk of pineapple with a little mini pickle on top, and it was all held together with a toothpick, and on the top of the toothpick was an Iowa flag. Now in the picture as we're walking in, and I jokingly said to my friends who were with me, Tara and Juanita, I said, you know what? If I don't get an Iowa flag on mine, I'm going to be really upset. Now, I said so jokingly because I just assumed it had a little Iowa flag on it in the picture because, it's a new item. They were making a big deal about it. And yet, when I got the bowl and when I was able to start looking at it, this was on top of the bowl. Literally, a little miniature Iowa flag. I kid you not. That's just so awesome. There it is. Little miniature Iowa flag. And am I keeping that? Oh, you better believe I'm going to keep that, yeah. So that was fantastic. I enjoyed that very much. That was nice. But other memories from the fair. Of course, I went to Iowa State's booth and I got my football season poster. I'll be hanging that up in my office, and it's really great. It has all the dates and of logos of who they're playing. Here, I'll kind of go by slow so you can see them there. See, there you go. There's your Iowa State schedule. Now I've just informed you. You're good. Okay. Now, this was a year of firsts. Tara and I did a couple of things that I've never done before. One that I've always wanted to do, but for some reason just never did. We went up to Pioneer Hall and we watched a filler competition, or at least part of it, and that was actually fun. And Pioneer Hall was built in 1886, apparently for the very first state fair to take place on those fairgrounds, and so it's a very historical building. I just had never been in it, never had gone to anything there, and so it was kind of fun to be in there, to go up there for that kind of an event. But then even beyond just that, we also went over across the way to where the art center is, and this is not something new. This is something that I would do every year. There's always a TARDIS there, and I go and I take photo sticking out of the TARDIS because, Doctor Who and all. This time the TARDIS was not there. This time it was something else was in that place, and it was a painted phone booth thing to look like an American phone booth, and it had Supermans all the way around, different incarnations of Superman. And, you know, okay, that's kind of cool, but it's no Doctor Who. Come on. So for the first time in however many years I've been going to the fair, I did not get a picture with the Doctor's TARDIS. Disappointed on that. Now, so that's something I didn't do, technically, not something I did. Now, but what we else did do is down on the Grand Concourse, there is this big, massive wooden chair, deck chair. And I've always thought it'd be fun to take a picture in that. I just never did. And in fact, Tara and I have been doing this food day thing for several years. And we talk about it before too and never did it. But this year we did it. And I want to show you, we did some really funny pictures. Well, we did one picture sitting facing the camera, and then Tara said, how about we lay down? Because we weren't going to slide back and sit in it. We were afraid that would not be a good look for either of us. But so she said, what if we laid down in it? And I kind of wish we would have got video of at least me trying to get in position to lay, because that had to be hysterical. Almost as funny as video would have been of watching us both try to get out of the chair then. That was a lot of fun too. Now the big chair is located next to where they do karaoke. They're on the Grand Concourse, and every year I stop in and do some karaoke. Tara's always there with me and big cheerleader. But Tara is a big fan of karaoke, at least when I do it, and she's a big fan of country music, especially people like Blake Shelton. And so this year I was ready with a special surprise for her. But I did Old Red by Blake Shelton because somebody is a big Blake Shelton fan. And so I learned that song specifically so I'd be able to do it for when she was around. So thank you, Tara. It's a fun song. I like doing it. It's fun.
On a prison farm in Georgia, close to the Florida line. Well, I've been here for 2 long years, finally made the warden my friend. So he sentenced me to a life of ease, taking care of Old Red. Now Old Red, he's the damnedest dog that I've ever seen. Got a nose that can smell a 3-day trail. He's a 4-legged tracking machine. You should consider yourself mighty lucky to make it past the gators and the quicksand beds. But in all the time that I've been here, ain't nobody got past Red. And the warden said, come on somebody, why don't you run? Old Red's itching to have a little fun. Get my lantern, get my gun, Red'll have your treat for the morning come. Well, I paid off the guard and I slipped off a letter to my cousin up in Tennessee. He brought down the blue tick hound. She was pretty as she could be. Well, he pinned her up in the swampland about a mile just south of the gate. I would take Old Red for his evening run. I'd just drop him off and wait. And the warden said, come on somebody, why don't you run? Old Red's itching to have a little fun. Get my lantern, get my gun, Red'll have your treat for the morning come. Now Old Red got real used to seeing his lady every night. So then I kept him away for 3 or 4 days, waited till the time was right. Well, I made my run with the evening sun, and I smiled when I heard him let Red out. 'Cause I was headed north for Tennessee, and Old Red was headed south. And the warden said, come on somebody, why don't you run? Old Red's itching to have a little fun. Get my lantern, get my gun, Red'll have me treat for the morning come. Now there's long-haired blue ticks all in the south. Love got me in here, but love got me out.
So obviously she enjoyed it, and the crowd enjoyed it too, because they really got into it. I mean, I started singing, and it's like all the talking that they were doing just kind of came to a stop, and they all turned and faced me, and they're all like singing along, and it's like they're excited about it. And when he got to the chorus, it's like 3/4 of the people that were sitting there all start singing along with it. You can kind of hear them a little bit on the video, but not as well as they were coming at me. And then afterwards, there were all kinds of people like, "Hey, good job!" Want to shake my hand, do all this kind of stuff. And I don't know. I think they thought I was somebody. But anyway, just had fun. We did try to go back later, and I was going to do another one, but by that point they had shut down the karaoke and a live band was about to start, and so we didn't stay for the karaoke for that. Darn it! But I did. Speaking of bands, when we went and got our pork chops, which Tara and I both got our pork chops and then posed for the pictures with the pork chops, we went and did that. As we were walking away, I did run into a very famous, well-known musician there, Mr. Bob Dorr himself. Bob Dorr, formerly of Bob Dorr and the Blue Band, but last year the Blue Band did their final performance at the fair after 30 years. And this year, Bob is coming back, but he's going to be with a blues showcase, which I imagine is going to be featuring Bob as well as other artists, and giving a spotlight, a little time for each of them to showcase different blues artistry and different combinations and things. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be coming up here this Friday, 8 o'clock there at the Mid-American Stage. I'm looking forward to that. It's also going to be my annual reunion with my fantastic great friends, Mike and Julie Sweat. I miss them so much, love them to pieces. Don't get to see them near enough. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing them at the State Fair on Friday when we all are there for Bob Dorr and his blues showcase. And Bob did make sure to tell me to make sure to bring my Zydeco tie so that I can join in when we're all rubbing it. Because that's what Bob says. He says, okay, get out your ties, let's rub it. Because it's the Zydeco metal tie, and then you got the thimbles on 2 fingers, and you just, rub the Zydeco tie along with the band. And in the past, sometimes he's even asked all the tie players to come up front, either around the front of the stage. Last year, we even got to go up on the stage, and that was a lot of fun. So who knows what'll happen this year? So it's a whole new ball game. So we'll see what happens there. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So anyway, I had lots of great memories of the fair. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed all of that stuff that happened, and the fair is fun when you're there with people who also enjoy the fair. I was not one of those people for a long time. I was kind of like, I did this, did that, now I'm done now. But, I am gradually learning to appreciate the diversity that is the Iowa State Fair. And that actually makes it a much more enjoyable experience. And so if you haven't experienced the Iowa State Fair, or if you think, I've been there before, there's nothing new to see, then I challenge you, don't be like I used to be. Give it another shot. Get out there and enjoy it. You get out there, explore, go to places. There was stuff, there were new buildings there, and new offerings and new opportunities, things that haven't been there before, and I thought, wow, these are fantastic. And so you just never know. There's always new stuff happening at the fair, so get out there and experience it. So now I'm going to close it off. Now that I've talked about all this new stuff, I'm going to close it off with something distinctly not new. Because one last thing that I had to do before I left the fairgrounds, because I wasn't sure if I'd get a chance to do it when I go again on Friday. they always have these people taking antique photos, or photos that you can either make it look like it's the Old West or the 1920s or whatever. And so I get these every year, and so this year was no exception. I stopped in and I got myself a couple of good antique photos, and so I'll leave you looking at my sheriff. With that, I'm gonna let you go. I've actually got stuff that I'm working on. I just had to take a little break quickly here before the sun completely goes down, though it's going down real fast. And I will see you all next time. Maybe at the State Fair on Friday if you're there, but otherwise, right here from my front porch.